Hello everybody! Well, this is my third time trying to do this video, so I'm going to go really fast. And the short came out fine, but I may do these in maybe like 5-minute sections, so off I go here. No frivolity here. All right, okay. So first thing I want to just mention, of course, we've got our Pluto Mars opposition, and at that new moon back on, what was it, April 27th, they went in they were in opposition to each other at 4 degrees, and that new moon, that's always when the sun and the moon are conjunct, was at 7 degrees. So that was that big T square I was talking about, or I can't, I've been talking so much here, I can't remember. This is that, I was thinking of the electrical outlet, shortage outlet in Spain and Portugal, that their electricity went out, and that was right around this new moon. And sure enough, Scorpio's our dark planet, so maybe that was part of that. Anyway, okay, so that was back at the new moon. And then coming up here, now we've got the full moon coming up here on May 12th. So the moon has gone all the way around, is at 22 degrees Scorpio, that third decan. And now the sun in that 2 weeks has moved about 14 degrees to 22 Taurus, so that they're in opposition to each other at the full moon. But then here comes Mercury. Now on May 10th, just 2 days before, Mercury enters Taurus. So we think of Mercury and Taurus as being kind of, being able to keep a lid on it and, kind of quiet and thoughtful. But coming out of Aries here, anything that wasn't brought to the fore, wasn't brought up to the surface, is now boiling under the surface. Okay, Taurus is keeping a little bit of a lid on it. But on the same day as the new moon on May 12th, Mercury is going to square Pluto. So that's more of that molten energy. Remember when we talk about Taurus, when they lose their temper, boom, it's like a volcano. You won't even know they're mad about anything, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I didn't know. Now, also during this time from the new moon, the Mars has been moving along, so by the full moon, it's about at 10 degrees Leo. So Mercury is going to square Pluto on the 12th, and then going to square Mars on the 18th. So between this time of, say, May 10th to May 20th, I'd watch my own mouth, okay, count to 10, and also be patient with those around you. If somebody kind of starts to lose it, just, say, uh-oh, that's what's going on here. And to add another little piece to the puzzle, we've got Uranus here. I'll put him up here. Sitting at 27 degrees Taurus. So the sun is only 5 degrees away at that full moon. And so that's, so the sun is going to conjunct, I'm checking my time here, sorry if I get a little lost here once in a while. The sun is going to conjunct Uranus on May 17th. So that's just the day before Mercury squares Mars. So again, Uranus is expect the unexpected. The sun is pouring light right onto that. So in Taurus, some secrets or something's going to be coming up. That's for sure. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stop this one. I'm going to start another one, and I'm going to talk about the Saturn wobble. I just hope all these work. I can put them. I know how to put them together. But anyway, okay. So Saturn's sitting up here at about 27 degrees Pisces. Okay, and when I talk about a wobble, I'm talking about when a planet goes direct, retrograde, direct, but it's moving from one sign to the next. Okay, so we just had Mars. Just finished up its wobble from Cancer into Leo, that type of thing. Okay, so I'm thinking with this that, and let me just tell you, with Saturn, it's given the name, it's the last planet we can see of of our transpersonal planets. Oftentimes it's called the cosmic cop. It was called Cronus, the god of time. It's often called a great malefic, because it is it brings it down on you, but I'm almost starting to call it a benefic, because if you are honest, if you do work hard, if you do think about others, if you do have patience, Saturn will give you rewards. Now, if you're trying to sneak around and, cut corners and all that kind of stuff, then Saturn can come down on you and make you have to see the light, basically. Okay. I will take time to do this right quick, because I do want you to just be aware of this. Here's that Saturn going in that 0 degrees Aries again on May 26th. It turns retrograde at 2 degrees Aries on the July 13th. September 2nd, retrograde Saturn goes back into Pisces. So even though it's backwards, it's going to have to go over that 0 Aries. November 28th, it's going to station direct at 25 Pisces. And then on February 15th, that's when Saturn will go into Aries for about 2.5 years. Okay, now, I think that's the main things I wanted to cover. And like I said, I'm trying to go really fast here. I do want to mention, though, Saturn going to Aries in Pisces, that was our most spiritual sign, the end of the zodiac. Well, when we have Saturn in Aries, it's a little bit like that go stop thing, in that Aries is want to go out and do things and fix things and play sports, and Saturn wants to think about it and analyze all the different directions it can come from and all that kind of stuff. So just, there is going to be a real shift there. And Saturn in Aries, Saturn's also known for walls. So in Aries, I can see this being a real feeling of feeling like you're alone in a crowd, because you've got your own walls built up around you in Aries. So keep a feeling out for that, I guess I should say. Okay, now just to review the wobbles, we did have Venus and Mercury here going back and forth over this 0 Aries point. Now Mercury's rushed ahead and gotten into Taurus. And here's Venus. It's just gotten into Aries, so it's only about at 1 or 2 degrees. And remember Neptune too. And I've somehow... Okay, I am just losing it today. Oh, there it is. Neptune, he fell on the floor. Okay, and Neptune too just went into Aries on March 30th. So, and it's going to have its wobble back and forth. So anyway, you guys, and I should mention too, Uranus is going to go into Gemini July 7th, and it's going to wobble back and forth between Taurus and Gemini. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it quits right now. Hopefully I can string a couple of these together and see if I can get another tape in. And no matter what, thank you guys, and I hope I see you next time. Bye for now.